Hello, hello. Welcome to the live. I'm going to add the art now. In 1 second. Sorry if you can see it. Okay, now this is way too big. Okay, this is fine. Perfect. So, everybody, welcome to the stream. Today, we're gonna be, well, let's see what we're gonna be doing. I was thinking of working on a new character. I will give you more details as I start. So, I'll start drawing now. I just need a second to set up. Okay, so I think I'll start drawing now. I'm gonna take inspiration from Ghost in the Shell, character designs and character layouts. So I'll start drawing now. So this character that I'm working on, she still hasn't got a name. I'm working on a lot of I'm working on a lot of the aspects of this character. So here I'm just drawing a quick sketch and just kind of the general anatomy. See the knees, the kneecaps would be about at this height, maybe even higher. Yeah, that feels like a better point for the kneecaps. If anybody joins the live, if you have any questions, just type them in chat. Right now I'm just sketching out the body. The character is like say a teenager, about that age. So I will try to keep that in mind while drawing the pose. That shoulder is a bit too wide. So if anybody has just joined the live, if you have any questions, you can just type them in chat. So here I'm just working a bit of the anatomy, just trying to make sure that once I start adding the clothes and the features of this character, it will look good. I need to change the eraser. I'm use the kneaded eraser. That works better. I'm just gonna flip the canvas. A very important thing to do. To check if there were any anatomy mistakes and other things, because it refreshes your view on the piece, and seeing it from a different perspective helps you find mistakes. I'm just going to move it at the center here, make it easier to draw. I also have to decide a hairstyle for this character. Still haven't got any idea what to do. So I'm just going to lower the opacity here. And I'm going to start sketching what I have thought for now, my ideas for now with this character. So in this world, she is from like this dystopian sci-fi world, and thus plastic is like the main material. And she comes from like an extremely poor part of the city, because the world is very split between the poor and the rich. So instead of having here an actual shirt or vest, she has this like plastic type of clothes, which you can imagine is not very comfortable. Oh, and I did finish the piece I was working on last. I was working on the last stream. If any viewer joins, I'll show it to them. So I feel like the volume of my microphone is extremely low. I will try to fix it. This should be better. I'm not sure. No, I think this still feels very low. Hmm. I'm gonna boost the volume a bit. I think it's gain. No, this should be higher. Okay, now this should be fine. Yeah, this sounds better. Okay, sorry for that stream. It's fixed now though, so it's fine. I'm just trying to add some falls. These are like very baggy pants that are closed off with some sort of like plastic strap or band at the bottom there. Because we want to keep the theme of the plastic in the design going on. I feel like I should push the shapes more. Bring this lower. So this is already better. I want this design to be kind of have this like kind of triangular shape, so more heavy on the bottom. So here the material, this kind of plastic thing, continues. And I'm just gonna draw the hand. That arm is very long, so I'll fix that right now. Yeah, that's already better. So this arm should be shorter. I'm going to make this a bit higher, put this a bit higher too. Okay, yeah, works fine. And this part needs to be higher too then. Because if you didn't know, if the belly button of the character is here, the belly button is at the same height of the elbows. I prefer drawing the line to determine the height of the elbows, kind of curved, about from like this point. Okay, not exactly there, but because the arms aren't perfectly straight, obviously they move. So in this case, yeah, this should be more circular. The same point would be there. Because you gotta take this line. Actually, I'm gonna make this into short. So, how do you find? No, I need to think about how to say this. How can you find at what height to put the elbow? Okay, I think I know what to say. If I don't know where to place the help, oh my god. If I don't know where to place the elbow, how can I find out? Well, it's very easy. You just gotta find the belly button of the character first, and from there, so close, so close. Let me try again. If I don't know where to place my elbow, how can I find out? Well, it's actually very easy. You just gotta find the belly button of the character first, which in my case is here, and then from there, you draw a straight line that goes until the side of the body. Once you reach the side of the body, you start drawing this quarter of a circle that has so close. So if anybody has just joined the live, right now I'm trying to film a tutorial of how to draw arms, where to find the elbow. But on today's live, I'm working on this character. So if anybody has any questions, you can just type them in chat. Well, I'll try to like film this tutorial for a second. If I don't know at what height my elbow is, no, that's wrong. Hello, Miyuki. I hope I pronounced it right. Welcome to the live. If you have any questions, just type them in chat. So I was just sketching this character. Yes, you do. I pronounce it right? Great. So right now I'm just sketching this character. She is a new OC of mine. She was born in this like dystopian sci-fi world. She's very poor and she doesn't even have documents. There's a long story about this world. There is still lots of lore that I have to plan. But in this sci-fi world, some people also have magic. And she didn't think she had magic until one day she slowly started feeling different things. So then she had a little community. She went to the old person in the community, who was like this sweet grandma, and she learned lots of things through her. So then she started this rebellion against like the government. So that's kind of the main plot. There were lots of other things, like in this city, plants are illegal. Uh, any type of nature elements are illegal. Everything is produced by the same giant company that is also at the same time the government. There are work camps, so it's not a great world to live in. So I'm going to continue working on this character. I still haven't decided what her shoes should be like. I was thinking something like this, some very like simple shapes with this plastic band that goes around them to keep them together to show that she is poor, but that plastic is also one of the main elements in this world. As you can see here, most of her clothes are made of plastic. I feel like this pose is a bit wrong, so I'm going to fix it. I'm going to use not sure to use the object tool. This is one of my first times using Clip Studio Paint. I mostly use Procreate. I just got it recently to do animation. I can show some animation exercise that I did recently if chat wants to see them. Hello, hello. Welcome, Rugile. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? I'm doing great, thanks. So, I'm just going to continue working here. I need to decide the hair for this character. That's still an element I haven't worked on at all. Fabulous, thank you. Oh, that's probably the answer of how are you doing? Well, yeah, I still have to decide the hair. My first idea was something like this, like bangs on the front and then kind of scrappy at the back, kind of like some type of wolf cut maybe. I definitely want a haircut that like kind of frames the face, and this character wouldn't have long hair, so that's a no-no. And now I'm just going to start working on her face a bit. I don't want anything crazy. I don't care too much about her face at the moment. That nose is quite ugly. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad nose. It's just that it doesn't match the perspective that the face is in. Okay, so this is like the first idea of the character. I'm going to flip the canvas one more time just to be sure that there aren't any big mistakes. The face there looks kind of bad, so I'm going to fix it. Yeah, this is not that good, but I don't care about it looking too good now. It's just a kind of sketch to get an idea on how the character should look like. So if you have any questions, if any viewer has any questions, you can just type them in chat. About the lore, about how I'm drawing, my process, if you want to see some other pieces that I made, just ask in chat. So since when have you been drawing? Well, I've always been drawing. Even when I was a toddler, I always had a piece of paper and I was just, well, when I was a toddler, I obviously wasn't drawing anything good, but I've always been drawing. Since when I kind of started studying more, I would say that I've been studying art since middle school. So that's a few years now. So I've never really started drawing. I've always been drawing, but I've only started studying in the past few years. And streaming, I've only started streaming 2 months ago, but I took 1 month of break since I was on holidays, so I'm very new to streaming. But I've been a content creator uh, for quite a while. I mean, now I don't really post that many videos. I was thinking of making a few of them the next few days. But I do post quite often on Instagram, and I do have quite a few videos on YouTube. At one point on TikTok, I was posting quite often, but I've stopped posting videos on TikTok now, even though that's where I have the most followers. I'm not sure if this element fits her design well. So it'll be kind of this versus this. Because I do have a bottom design, like very bottom heavy, like in this design. Most of the elements, like you can see here, even the pants, it all gives this very triangular shape. So I feel like adding something here would break the balance. And about your character, what is it? Well, this character I'm drawing right now, she doesn't have a name yet, but I have a bit of story around her. I still have to decide lots of the things, lots of elements. But she was born in this dystopian sci-fi world where there's like one or two big companies that dominate all of the political aspect of the poor people. Everybody else is like confined in this city where there is no natural light and plants are illegal. There are working camps. Lots of people are undocumented, and being undocumented means receiving nothing, being a nobody. And she is undocumented. She lives in this small community. She doesn't have any family. But the one thing I didn't mention is that in this sci-fi world, magic also exists. It's not big glaring magic or like in like Dungeons and Dragons or in a fantasy aspect, but kind of maybe like earth bending, water bending, air bending, also like maybe uh, I mean I've never really read or watched Harry Potter, but some of the spells in Harry Potter could work. And she does have magic. This character has magic, but she didn't know that until I still have to decide how she finds out. But when she does, she goes to the old lady in the town and asks her for advice. So then the old lady, I mean in the town and the community, they're all in this giant city. She brings her to a secret place that she has, and she finds out that this old lady has a botanical garden. I mean, I'm not sure if we call it botanical garden. Uh, Greenhouse, that's what I wanted to say. She has a greenhouse, which is illegal since plants are banned in the city. So she finds out that this seemingly innocent old lady actually has a lot of secrets. This is kind of the start of the story. So since she doesn't have any documentation, she doesn't have a job, so she has no way to make money or gain anything. So she kind of has to do things on her own, so she's kind of a criminal, not by choice. She doesn't have any other options. So she has learned how to like climb walls, escape. So this is kind of the character. I'm making this design because eventually I want to make an animation of her. It's just I've really taken animation practice seriously now. I can show some things that I've done if you want to see. Okay, so this is the first idea for the character. So now I'm going to make another version of her design. Yeah, you want to see? Okay, give me a second. I will figure out how to pull this up. Because some of the animations are on my iPad, not my computer. Because before getting CSP, I used Procreate, which is not particularly good for animation. But I should be able to show it without too many problems. Okay, if I go into OBS, I should be able to do this. Okay, this is giant, covers everything, which is not what I wanted. I'm just going to put it here. You should be able to see it. I'm going to check on Twitch. Yeah. Okay, I'll start animation now. This is the animation. Very short, very simple. I did this in a week, didn't do it in too much time. She is another one of my characters. And I also have another animation. I'm gonna grab it now. So let's see if I can find it. Okay, now this is another animation. This was an exercise I did to learn CSP. This is an original animation like the other one. For this one, I copied Freewin. I mostly did this to learn how to use Clip Studio Paint. Okay, that's it. Now I'm gonna get back to working on this character. I've also done some other animation in the past, but I've never really tried learning it. Still in our time. Hello, Cloudy. Welcome to the stream. I'm working on a new character today. I'm trying to make a design. If you have any questions about the character, ask in chat. I don't feel like drawing the eyes again. Nice, thank you. So I'm just going to leave it like this. I really do like this element in the pants. I don't want to change it. But I don't feel like the silhouette will really work with if I also have this jacket on. I feel like this design is already less convincing. Are you a PNG tuber? It's a demon. I guess you could call me a PNG tuber, yes. You have a PNG that's moving up there. It's a demon. It's my D&D character. I just finished a drawing of him recently. I can show it right now quickly. Oh, let me just... This is still the freeware animation. I'll get it out now. This is a drawing I did on my D&D character. I just finished it very recently, a few days ago. I also have a comic about him that I'm working on. I finished the comic. I just need to translate all the speeches since I did it in Italian. Since I'm an Italian, it was for an Italian comic course. But yeah, this is the drawing. Here's my D&D character. He also has a sister. Let's see if I can find another drawing. I mean, this is the sister. That's his sister. Well, let's see if I can find another drawing. This one. That's the sister of the character I just showed you. Oh. And so if you want to see some of my art, you can join my Discord or follow me on Instagram. I will drop the link in chat. I should probably make a command for this eventually. So that's just my Instagram. Let's put in chat. And I'm going to put an invitation to my Discord. Okay, well now let's get back to working on the character. I don't want to get distracted too much. So for this character, I'm taking inspiration from the style of Ghost in the Shell. And from like some sci-fi and clothes I saw on Pinterest. Maybe if I close the jacket, I've only played around with the idea of it being open, but closed maybe could work better. So if any viewer has any more questions, you can just drop them in chat. Yeah, I think this design is worse, but I want to hear chat's opinion. So this is still a sketch. I mean, these are both sketches, but this one is more unfinished. But I really do believe that this design is weaker than this one. I do prefer this design, but I'll let chat decide. 1 for this design and 2 for this other one. Now I'm going to make another one. Oops, wrong button. Now this design, I don't really have an idea for it, but I can just kind of play around with it, taking ideas from from the other two. What's the drawing of the profile picture? Uh, my Twitch profile picture is a bald man, right? I think that's the one on Twitch. I'll quickly check because I forgot. Yeah, my profile picture on Twitch is a bald man. So that is one of the villains from my D&D campaign. I am the dungeon master of a campaign that's been going on for a year and a half. That was one of the first big villains. He was the leader of this corrupt church that was in contact with the god of deceit and lies, and that was a moment of prayer where the two gods, the god of deceit and the goddess of lies, I think that's something like that, were like giving him magic and stuff. I mean, I didn't really put that much lore into the drawing. The template with the hands was like an art trend that one of my friends sent me. But yeah, that was one of the big villains, this leader of this corrupt church. And they killed him. It was a great battle. It was the first character death of the campaign. Great stuff. It's fun playing D&D. OMG a year. Yeah, it's been going on for a long time. But both me and the players have decided that it's a good campaign, we're having fun, but we don't want it to last too long. So we're gonna go and try and end it this year. Before the campaign hits the 2-year mark. Because we want to play some other stuff. We want to create new characters, and for the first time, I want to be the player. I found another cool reference on Pinterest. I think I like this hairstyle more. I'm going to implement this in the design here. I'm going to flip the canvas just to check if there aren't any big mistakes. And there are a few mistakes I can spot, but I don't care too much about fixing them right now. There were no giant mistakes though. I'm going to keep the same pants, I mean the same part of the pants for design because I really like them. I don't want to change them. I think this is the first time I design a character on stream. I did work on some elements of the girl demon you saw earlier, but I already had her design in mind by then. So right now I'm just making this very sketchy. I don't care about the details too much because I'm probably only one of these 3 drawings. I'm going to continue it. The other 2, and I'll just leave them. But first, I gotta draw them all so I can decide which design I like the most. I also gotta keep in mind that I can't make this design too complicated because I have to animate it, and a complicated design is obviously harder to animate. You can see that lots of anime characters have got a very simple design. I can make an example. Fern from Frieren. I don't think there's a simpler character design. she is just in distress. She only has a monochrome dress. So this one already feels too complicated to me. There isn't a clear shape language. I think this design already is the one I like the least. Between these two, between number 3 and number 1, I think I like number 1 better. So I think, do you have other ideas for this character or in general? Others. Uh, hmm. Well, other characters. In this world, I was planning to make some other characters, yes. I have some ideas for the designs, especially the old lady, which has the mentor role for this character. I was planning on doing her design, but I don't have really anything in particular planned for them. But I do have one element in this world that influences design that I made up, or that I think is kind of cool. So, there are these work camps in which people from 15 years old are sent to, and these are horrible places where lots of people die. But and it's also a place that creates perfect citizens. It does that through a drug that makes people forget their experience in the work camp, but also influencing their behavior. So the people to remember the horrors, to share the horrors that happened in the work camp, even though they can't remember them. During their stay, they start tattooing their body. They have these giant shapes all across their back as a way to remember what happens in those camps. So she will discover that the old lady also has a giant tattoo across her back because she was once part of the work camps. And the work camps is another thing. The work camps are the only way to get an actual identity. If you don't go to them, you're nobody. You can't use money or anything. So that's the basic concept. So she doesn't have any tattoos because she didn't go to any of the camps. More characters will have tattoos. And the reason I really want to implement this idea, it's because it kind of become a main thing in my art. Maybe, I'm not sure if you saw it, but you can see it even in my PNG tuber. He's got these two black lines going across his face, and that's because that's a symbol of the cult that he was in. So I'm like having fun making characters that have this element. So in between these three characters, I'm not sure what chat thinks. I like your feedback, but I do believe that number 1 is the best one. So, Rogel, still not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. If you could like give some input, which one do you prefer? Number 1, 2, or 3? I mean, in general terms, you prefer number 3? Yeah, I also like number 3. Number 2 is the one I like the least. So for now, I'm just going to not remove it, but shrink it. because even though I don't like it too much, I can take some design elements from it. I'm just going to shrink it and put it in the corner. And I'm going to put number 3 right here, so they're closer together, and I have space for another character to kind of perfect number 3. Number 1 looks like something she would use outside. I mean, she is probably using it. That one, these are like her outside clothes. But I'm going to kind of work on this design some more, because this one is very sketchy, very loose. I'm not sure if kind of this part of her design convinces me. Maybe I can make these sleeves shorter. That's kind of how this design works. So I think this is cool. OMG, you're falling asleep. If it's late in where you are, if you're tired, please go to sleep. I don't know if you talk to me. I have bad memory, I forget everything instantly, so I have no idea if I talk to you either. You'll do? Okay. Well, I hope you have a good rest. Thanks for stopping by. Ciao, ciao. Bye. I will take a short break in a few minutes. So if anybody's watching, the break won't be too long. It will be 5 minutes probably. But if anybody else just joined, if you have any questions, you can just type them in chat. Right now I'm working on trying to design a new character. should probably clear up this area a bit, but I'll do it later. So for now, I think this design is a bit cooler. Number 3. Oh wait, I drew number 1 on this layer. So it means that design number 1 doesn't have the number anymore. I'm going to add it back. This is design number 1 and this is design number 3. Huh. I think number 1 looks a bit less cool, but number 3 is harder to animate, and I don't want something hard to animate. The easier to animate it, better. So I think I'll stick with design number 1, but I'll try to incorporate some of the energy and fit of design number 3. I realize I haven't saved this file yet, so I'll just save it. So it's 11:13 now. I think I'll take the break in a few minutes, in 2 minutes. Need to color code this stuff quickly. Yep, this still looks ugly. So this is not thing I'll incorporate in design. So think like this is fine. So I'm going to also shrink this one. Yeah, it had a few elements from the other thing. 2 lines. It happens, small mistake. Okay, so this is the design. It's 11:15, so I'll take a break now. I'll come back in like 5 minutes. Okay, I'm back. Break was a bit longer than usual, but I forgot to take the break earlier, so that balances everything out. I'll continue working on the design now. I'll take some more inspiration from the Ghost in the Shell character sheets, which I'm happy I found completely for free on characterdesignreferences.com. Very cool stuff. Ghost in the Shell has an awesome style. Wait a minute. What's going on? I can't draw anything. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now what? I guess the next logical step is just to lower the opacity of this and go over it, try to make it better. I might use a liner to brush. I'm gonna add downloaded materials. It's loading the brush. It has lots of texture, that's for sure. A bit too much. This brush is quite good. I mean, this is one of my first times using CSP. I think this brush is quite cool. I'm going to use this brush right here. So if anybody has just joined the live, if you have any questions, you can just type them in chat. I've got this sketch right here, but how do I start doing the line art? Well, one important thing to keep in mind with line art is that darker areas or areas of bigger elements, like maybe still edges of a character or silhouettes, have thicker lines. So here, the nose would have a very thin line, while something like this area here, since the light is coming from above, would be quite dark and thick, while lines here in the light would be less thick. But here the hair again is in shadow, so it would be thicker. As a bad tutorial. So I'm just drawing some simple lines right now. Feel like anatomy here might be off. It is. How much do I care about fixing it? That's the question. Okay, well, we can start working on our pants now. So if anybody has just joined the live, if you have any questions, you can just type them in chat. So if anybody has just joined the live, if you have any questions, you can just type them in chat. if anybody has just joined the live, if you have any questions, you can just type them in chat. Fix that hand. I mean, that pose doesn't really make any sense, but I don't care too much. I'm going to try and keep this quite a bit looser, because the less detail, I mean, it's better to give the idea of detail than actual detail. So that means the less detail means the easier it is to animate. I can definitely redo the face, that is kind of ugly. Kind of that part of the face was the problem. This brush is really hard to kind of get the lines I'm trying to get, but also keeping everything loose, so it's also very low resolution. Sure why I decided to paint in such low resolution, but too late now to change it. I mean, I could change it, I just don't feel like it. That's design. Can still work on lots of other things. Oh yeah, this is her design. I think I'm going to take a short break. I can think about what to work on next, what to do. Yeah, I'm going to take a break now, and I'll be back soon. Okay, I'll be back in 10 minutes. Hello, I'm back. Oh, during my break, it seemed that some people came in the live. Welcome to the live. Welcome, Princess Pakadomi, Tanya Dradis, Pat, Luffy as a ghost girl sitting. Well, not today. Today I'm working on some other stuff. Maybe I'll draw that in the future. But thanks for the follow. Thank you. And Maxit Room, can I ask you an art question I'm struggling with? Yes, guys, anything. So I'm just gonna continue working on this design. I think this was the right brush to use. I'll try and impart some other brushes, see if I like something better. It seems like a nice pencil. Not what I need right now. We'll get back to the line art. Well, I can find anything. I'll just continue drawing. I feel like she looks a bit older than what she is. So maybe I'll try and change the proportions a bit. Make her a bit more slim. Not slim, it's maybe a bit less muscle mass. She doesn't have much. So if anybody has any questions or anybody has just joined the live, just ask in chat. Now the neck is very small compared to the size of their head, so I'll fix that. I mean, uh, women do have smaller necks, but not that small. Dinner drawing, so, well, maybe I'll draw that, but not on today's stream. So if any of you has any questions about what I'm drawing, just ask in the chat. So I'm just adding a bit more detail. I think that's enough. I still haven't decided the color for this characters, the colors. So I think that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm just gonna pick a normal, pretty boring skin tone. Well, maybe I could make the skin tone a bit darker. I think I'm going to keep it kind of like this. I think this is fine. So if anybody has any questions, you can just type them in chat. And to zoom in on the face, because got a pretty big brush and I don't have that much control over it. At the bigger size. So this should be blending brush. Eye color. Well, maybe through the eye color I can already show that kind of she's a bit different and that she has magic. If anybody has any questions, or anybody has just joined the live, just ask away in chat. I need to decide what color to make the pants with general palette. I think maybe something like this. To make it easier, I'm just gonna selection tool it. That was quick, easy. If anybody has just joined the live, if you have any questions, just type them in chat. Add some shadows quickly. If anybody watching has any questions, you can just type them in chat. Right now I'm working on my character. She's a new character. I'm just designing her right now. I'm still trying to learn how to use Clip Studio Paint. If anybody has just joined the live, you have any questions, just type them in chat. So if anybody's just joined the live, if you have any questions, you can just type them in chat. So if anybody has any questions, you can just type them in chat. I think I might be almost done for today. I don't feel like doing anything more. So I might just end the live. Going to try and fix it. I can't speak. I'm gonna try and fix this shit. This, oh my god, this face a bit. I might have to completely draw this other eye. I don't really feel like it. So let's see. If anyone has any questions, you can just type them in chat. I think I might be done for today. There are no new viewers coming in. I did the sketch of the character. Yep, I think I might be done. Yeah, I think I might be done. I might just end live here. It was a fun stream today. I know it's very short, but I didn't want to do too much. So I think I'll end stream. I'm gonna do a raid. Before we do that, I'm gonna stop stream on YouTube.